How do you keep, capture, and convert the attention of your ideal buyers? That's the big thing. And so I think AI is finally starting to really deliver across each of those paradigms. Getting the attention, keeping it, and then converting it. Right now, I feel like the gap between where the marketers were telling people AI is and what it can do and what it can actually do is closing precipitously. Anybody can type into ChatGPT and get an output, and that's actually very cool.
Yeah.
But how do you apply that in the business so it actually moves the needle and gets you an outcome? 78% of buyers don't buy from the best and they don't buy from the cheapest. They buy it from the first person that responds. You can have AI, the minute someone clicks an ad or generates any interest on your site, you can have AI automatically reach out to them, like immediately.
HubSpot makes impossible growth impossibly easy for their customers. So I got a perfect example here. So it's Morehouse College. Sure, they're a school. You might not be a university or a school, but I think you can relate. So they were looking to reach more students with fresh, engaging content, just like all of us. But they have a massive 900-page website, so even the tiniest little updates would take them about 30 minutes to publish. But they started using Breeze, which is HubSpot's collection of all the AI tools that helps them write and optimize their content super fast, much faster than ever before. They're actually getting 30% more page views for their visitors, and they're getting 27% more time on their site, which, as you know, can convert to so many things depending on your goal. So are you ready for impossible growth kind of like this? Go visit HubSpot.com. Hey, before you get into the episode, I urge you to hit pause and go check out the AI Digital Mind. It's like a digital twin of this podcast and a whole bunch of other content I've released. Go to hustleandflowchart.com/AI Joe. It's hustleandflowchart.com/AI Joe. You can literally chat with this podcast with me and my guests in text, audio, and video for free. If you want one of these made for yourself, if you're interested, go to hustleandflowchart.com/interest, and we make these things out. So enjoy. Let's get to the episode. Joe, we're doing this. Joe to another Joe. It's always a great day when Joe's connected. Make some cool stuff happen. Thanks for your time, brother.
Amen. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, you come up. I feel like you come up in conversation in a lot of places lately. Of course, either your name or daily.ai, which is literally just it's awesome. So we'll be talking about that. I was just at an event, Scott Duffy's event, the second day, and I think you were there the first day. I'm like, I miss Joe. Yeah, I just came up for the day, so shout out.
That's great. Yeah, he likes to bring Joes in to make sure each day is amazing.
That's it. It's an evenly balanced event when that happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know. So you, of course, you're heading up this venture with Daily AI. You've had some cool adventures prior to. I guess, what are you excited about right now? We'll just start there because I know you're living and breathing AI. You have a really cool background as well. And how are you seeing things right now? The state of AI, I guess just what you're focused on right now, excited about, and then we can kind of dive in a little bit more.
Right now, I feel like the gap between where the marketers were telling people AI is and what it can do and what it can actually do is closing precipitously, meaning like the hot air of all this whiz bang that people have been talking about over the last year or two, you can actually deliver on a lot of it now, which is really exciting. And it's only going to get better as time goes on. So for me, that's the most exciting thing in AI, especially when it comes to business. And I think one of the best places in business where AI is having the biggest impact is in generating, nurturing, and converting leads. And if you look at why most businesses in the Western world go out of business, it's because they don't have enough cash. They don't have enough cash because they don't have enough sales. And they don't have enough sales because they don't have enough leads. I mean, some really small percentage of people never make it past 3 million a year. And if you're making $3 million a year or less per year in revenue, then your main problem, more than likely, your biggest constraint is probably leads. You're just like in obscurity and you don't know enough people don't know you and your offer or your business. That doesn't matter if you're a roofer or a plastic surgeon or a coach or a consultant or a mastermind owner or whatever you're selling, right? That's the big issue is how do you get leads? How do you keep, capture, and convert the attention of your ideal buyers? That's the big thing. And so I think AI is finally starting to really deliver across each of those paradigms. getting the attention,
Yeah.
keeping it, and then converting it.
That's good. Yeah, and I think people are starting to understand how, I mean, there's an assortment of tools that can help us do that at the basic level, ChatGPT. But then, of course, daily AI is helping a lot of that, specifically in the email side of things. But there's some cool stuff you were just telling me right before this, um,
Yeah.
what it does as well to do more of the actual convert to, buyers in a quick amount of time.
Yeah, well, before we even talk about daily, let's talk about like what's working right now with AI. Okay.
Absolutely.
So the big things that matter the most is just use it every day. That should be a non-negotiable. If you're a founder, an entrepreneur, a business owner, and even if you're a solopreneur, if you have just you or anyone else beside you, your EA, your team, I think the number one mandate is you should be using AI every single day because the knowledge that it gains on you compounds over time, right? The
Yeah.
more you use ChatGPT and reference everything it knows about you, the more it knows about you, the more it can actually help you. So it's really, really powerful. This was not always the case. Plus, it would be kind of like if we were right at the era where electricity came on and you didn't have electricity yet, like how frequently would you like to be using electricity? Right,
Mhm.
as much as you could afford to. So I think it's a non-negotiable. I think that step zero is use it every day. I don't actually care what it is, but use it every single day and use it as much as you can. Mostly so you build the muscle. Okay, that's the first thing. But the big use cases that are, I think, really exciting right now are number one is using AI for something that I call speed to lead, right? This is important because if you want to generate more leads and convert more leads, the data that I'm about to share with you is super important. If you respond to a customer in less than 5 minutes from the time that they raised their hand to say they wanted to get in touch with you, they are 400% more likely to convert. And
Jeez.
78% of buyers don't buy from the best and they don't buy from the cheapest. They buy from the first person that responds.
Mm.
And I'll give you a real example from my life. So I was delivering a workshop. We do a 3-day AI workshop. And over the winter, and a pipe burst in my front of my house. So the water company came and turned off the water to the house because it was leaking like 2,000 gallons a minute or something crazy.
Mm.
So my wife just goes, okay, like looks at Yelp, looks at Google reviews, calls the best plumbers that are in our area. And how many of them do you think picked up the phone?
Oh, I doubt any of them. Maybe one.
Zero
Zero.
of them picked up the phone. So like, and she's relentless. If you ever met my wife, you'll know she's just down, down, down. So finally, she got a hold of somebody, but she had to try very hard to get in touch with someone when she had a problem to give them our money.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so and that use case is imminently solvable with AI. You can have AI picking up your phones. If you have an inbound lead system, you can have AI booking your calls for you instead of doing it on Calendly. You can
Mm.
have AI, the minute someone clicks an ad or generates any interest on your site, you can have AI automatically reach out to them, like immediately, right? And just that speed to lead, all that's doing is hedging your bets that if that's a qualified marketing qualified lead or qualified person that's like uniquely positioned and perfectly positioned to buy the thing that you solve a problem for, then the chances of you converting them and turning them into a happy customer are so much higher,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
That's one of the use cases. There's a second one that I think is really important, and that is let's just call it dead leads or leads that you've captured at some point but maybe didn't convert.
Got it.
Only like 3 to 5% of the market is ready to buy right now. 97% of the market or ish needs more information before they buy. I think a lot of mistakes that smaller businesses, those that are below 5 million a year or 3 million a year in sales, is they just don't, like, if the lead comes in and doesn't convert, they just kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
Imagine all the real estate agents that have had contacts with potential people that want to list their home that they haven't followed up with, right?
Years and years of people. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And right now, voice AI, outbound voice AI is so good that you could actually mow through the entire database of everybody. Like if you have hundreds or hundreds of thousands of leads that you haven't contacted, it can mow through all of those leads and beautifully find the ones that are actually interested. It sounds human. It's
Yeah.
not perfect. And I would recommend you say, hey, this is somebody from this person's company and I'm an AI. I'm just reaching out because, and then go into your script.
Yeah.
If you shake those trees, the chances, and if you have enough of these leads, the chances that you come back with zero progress is quite low, right? So these are two
Yeah.
great use cases I think are super, super available to people that folks just aren't paying a lot of attention to, that are high leverage, they're highly lucrative, and they're fairly low cost to put into place.
I love it. Yeah. Speed to lead and then the dead leads because we're all sitting on those. It really boils down to leads, like you said. And then
Yeah.
and then of course conversion. We'll talk about that too. Back to like the dead leads thing. So it's basically reactivating, essentially, is what you're talking about, right? Like database
100%.
reactivation. Are there like, could you break down a workflow you would suggest, or maybe one that you use, including some tools, and just kind of like map it out a little bit? Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, the first thing you're going to want to do is be able to sub-segment your data. So you're going to need your data in a place where you can take it apart and identify the leads that are actually dead and maybe even rank them or score them. So anybody with a modern CRM should be able to do that. We work frequently with people that have go high level. Daily AI works with pretty much any CRM. Um, and a lot more people have go high level. So if you
Yeah.
are able to basically go back and look at your leads, like the first place I would look at is who hasn't engaged with me as a prospect in 60 days or greater.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be longer. You used to think a dead lead is like 90 or 180 days. But what's interesting is if you don't email somebody for 30 days, you try to mail them again, the chances that that thing ends up in spam is really high because of the
That's
way the
true.
algorithm works now, right? So 60 days, they haven't touched anything, they haven't opened anything. Like, let's just run through the real life scenario. It's unlikely they went on vacation for 2 months, right?
Right.
30 days, I get it. You go on vacation, you get backed up, maybe 4 or 5 weeks. But like once you get to 8 weeks, like that, those people are gone. You're in the spam box. Something's wrong, right?
Mhm.
And then the next thing that I would do is I would use, I think there's a service called Clay. There's a
Yeah.
handful of these services that you can use to enhance that data. So I would take those emails and then first and last name and email, and I would enrich that data. So you can get things like zip code, buying power, like a bunch of hygiene data, metadata around those customers. And you can actually take that spreadsheet and upload it to Claude or ChatGPT and say, hey, here's my ideal buyer. Here's what I sell. Looking at this data, help me rank this list of people so that I can understand who are the best buyers and who are the worst buyers for my offer, right?
Mhm.
And then it's great in that data if you have a column that's like date last contacted, so they know
Yeah.
how stale it is. And then after that, you can just say, hey, like, great, now help me order this list so I know who to reach out to first. Then once you have that ranked, and because that's available to everybody, there's more sophisticated tools, but everyone has ChatGPT. Then you
Mhm.
rank it. Then you can hook up a tool like Vapi, VAPI.ai to like go high level, possibly even with like a make or an N8N type of automation
Yep.
where it's Vapi is going to connect to an LLM like ChatGPT or Claude. It's going to sync up with your CRM to get the data, and of course you can do this with a spreadsheet too, but definitely recommend
Automate.
CRM automate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And then it can update contact records in the CRM. It can mow through the list and make calls. It can pass off,
Mhm.
like if you have go high level, you can pass off to a live human, and if that's appropriate. And then just have it work the list, right? And there's a little bit more to it, like the what buttons to push and all that. It's probably more
Yeah.
than we want to get into here, but it's literally that simple. And you could set up a voice agent that mows through dead leads. That's if you wanted to do it yourself. There's a handful of off-the-shelf tools. I haven't used them personally, so I don't feel comfortable endorsing them. But
Yeah.
like the thing I just described, not only have I used it, I've helped other people set it up multiple times, and that's what seems to be working.
And it's straightforward, like what you just said. And thank you for sharing all the little details. I figured you had like a solid process to this, and yeah, and Vappy, just looked it up really quick. I've heard of it, but haven't used it. That's the voice agent part that
Yeah.
does the actual calling once it has the list. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And there's more, a little bit more to it. Some of these large language learning models, the APIs get saturated, so the API calls start to slow down, and there's some technical nuance in there that's worth paying attention to.
Yeah.
But what I found, Joe, is that like speed of implementation is the most important factor for business success. Like if you're
Yeah.
sub 10 million a year in revenue, you just got to take action and measure what didn't work and just make one thing better each time. So I wouldn't get caught up in the details. I would just see how fast can I scrape it together and ship it, and then just fix it as you go. Worst case scenario, you're calling people that didn't want to hear
That's
from
right.
you anyway. The bar is quite low. And that's just my mental model for AI is like speed of implementation. Don't let your story around technology and the limits that you have of your relationship to technology get in the way of you helping more people.
That right there held me up. This what a couple years ago. I was always into tech, but I told myself I was like, just this is too much right now to take on. And dumb story, it didn't take long for me to break it. I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, the faster I get in here, you flex the muscle of AI, even if it's baby steps. And even if that's you right now listening, watching, just baby steps, hop in. They're all free to at least try, like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, whatever it is, just get comfortable. And
Yeah.
like you said, like just do some of these quick actions. I mean, we all have these things that we can think a little clearer or maybe automate in our lives. And or have it even just write a script for us. Like just experiment and get
Yeah,
used to that.
just you'd be shocked if you just use it every day and then start adding a new capability and a new capability, how much
Yeah.
farther you can get. We kind of knew, right? So the way Daily AI started is I was in the middle of selling my last company. I'm a five-time founder. I've had three successful exits, and I was in the middle of selling my last company. And I was like, I want to do this one more time. So I got introduced to Peter Diamandis and Evan Pagan, who are my two business partners now. And we had access to the OpenAI API like pretty early, like before ChatGPT came out. So we were like toying around and playing with things. We had about a year to kind of figure out what we wanted to do. And what we realized is that the capabilities of AI are going to be coming out so quickly that the rate limiting factor is going to be people's acceptance of any AI solution. Like
Mm.
how much will they deploy and use it and how much will they trust it? And of course, if you look at the distribution of markets, there's early adopters. It's a bell curve, and the first
Oh,
little third on the left is an early adopter. So we knew there was a market for that. But we also knew that AI's capabilities would outpace people's willingness to accept solutions. So from day one at AI, our daily AI, our main mantra has been outcomes over outputs. Anybody can type in a ChatGPT and get an output, and that's actually very cool.
yeah.
But how do you apply that in the business so it actually moves the needle and gets you an outcome? Right. And so we started thinking about, well, where do people need the most help? And we noticed that it was in leads and conversions. And then where's the biggest opportunity there? It's in the follow up, man. It's in the nurture, right? So
Always.
people are pretty good at getting leads and converting them, but this nurture thing in the middle has been a struggle. So we launched our very first product is an AI automated email newsletter. 80% of our customers have a 40% or greater open rate. That means,
Saw
that's
that.
the number of people that open each email, which is insane because the average open rate, depending on industry, is between 15 and 20%. I mean,
Yeah.
it's quite low. So most of the time, we're able to double people's open rates.
Just to pause for on that stat, like, because that open rate stat's been going down from what I understand, right? Like, just
Yeah.
in general with email and sending.
Yeah, it's been going down because last February, Google and Yahoo and Outlook made a bunch of changes. You can't
Yeah, yeah.
hide under like these big group IP and domains anymore. But that doesn't matter because we do all the boring stuff before you ever launch a newsletter. Like we clean all that up for you. So like you upload your list and our machine learning will go through your list, add metadata to it, rank it,
Mm.
remove all the spam traps, dead emails, known troublesome people on your list, and then it will actually rank them. And let's say you have a 100,000 person list, it'll break it into little chunks and warm your list up based on who's most likely to open it.
Mm.
And it knows that because every time someone opens our email newsletters, right, from our customers, the AI gets smarter and smarter and smarter. So it's actually learning what people want to click on and watching what they're doing. I'll give you an example. So we did the newsletter for Robert Kennedy Jr. during his presidential campaign, and that's not like an endorsement or an indictment of the man's politics. He was just a customer. I happen to like the guy. We've hung out a handful of times.
Sure. Yeah.
So he his list was massive. I'm not able to say how many people on his list, but it was massive. When we uploaded his list to our platform, over 20% of his subscribers already subscribe to other newsletters of customers on our platform. So our machine learning already knows when they open it, the subject lines that resonate. So if we're
Wow.
going to warm his list up, the machine learning is going, great, let's start with the people that we know will open first, right?
That's right.
So there's all this getting it in the inbox stuff that most people are just falling over on right now. We've built back-end workflows that you never see. It just works. You just upload your list and we walk you through the process. And so that just so we can win the first war of email, which is land in the primary inbox.
Which
And then
is like, I've seen so many smart people, partners of mine and clients, but I'm like, when they switch a provider or whatever it is, or just start emailing something fresh, it's just spam, spam, spam. And it's like, how the hell do I get out of here? And it's a constant struggle, like long time for some folks. And it sucks.
yeah,
It's
it's
horrible.
an uphill battle. Look, if you've scraped or bought your list, it doesn't work. Don't
Yep.
come to us. Like figure that out. Like if this, if you scraped it off of like Instagram or bought some third party list, the algorithms are too smart for you now.
Mm,
They're going to know that you don't have permission. Like, they just know, right?
that's the
So,
truth.
but
Yeah.
if you are coming from a reputable sort of email service provider like Daily AI, it's warmed up and those people are encouraged to engage with it in a way where Google, Outlook, and Yahoo go, yeah, this person's real. They want this. And you deliver content that those algorithms, email algorithms go, yeah, this is real stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because they actually analyze it at the individual email level to decide if they're going to put it in the spam box or not. It used to not be like that. And so
Ah,
with daily, we have it's like three or four thumb scrolls of content, like an image, a headline, and a summary. It's meant to feel like Instagram in the inbox, right?
Yep.
In that format, we reverse engineered from hundreds of different formats because we figured out that that's what Outlook, Gmail, and Yahoo love to deliver. They know that that's valuable content. That format is used by millions of companies all over the world. So we
Wow.
just reverse engineered that and basically started making it smarter. I like to say there's three forms of truth in the game of marketing. There's what the business thinks the market wants. There's what the
Uh-huh.
market says that they want, and there's what they actually click on. And we like to over index on that third one, right? Like, so what are they clicking on? And then give them more of what they're clicking on. Next thing
Dynamically.
that's dynamically. So that's why we're able to warm people's lists up more efficiently because like our machine learning is starting to understand like what lists are good, what clusters of customers are likely to open. It does like an ideal buyer persona analysis and it starts looking at like, oh, these people are kind of like these people. So it's not just like a chat GPT summarized newsletter. There's like a whole bunch of back end machine learning intelligence that's like fighting the war of email on your behalf and making it better every time you send an email out.
Because at a surface level, like if someone were to look at daily AI, and when I first heard about it, I was like, awesome. Like it creates my email newsletters for me, like super fast, and it does it in a smart way. But without diving deeper into it, you don't realize, yeah, it's dynamic. It's actually changing depending on their actions, which like there's no way you can keep up with that with ChatGPT. I mean, you could, I guess, try to string together a whole bunch of automations, but that's a pain in itself when most people aren't even sending emails,
Yeah.
consistently, that is. HubSpot helped Tumblr solve a big old problem. So they needed to move fast and produce trending content that they're known for. But their marketing team was stuck and they were waiting on their engineers to code every single email campaign that had to get sent out. But now they're using HubSpot's customer platform to email people in real time with all the trending content that they're sending out to millions of their users done just in seconds. So, what's the impact? That means 3 times more engagement and double the content creation. Pretty sweet. So, if you want to move faster, just like Tumblr did, go visit HubSpot.com. And I'm going to do a quick shout out one more time for the thing I talked about at the top of the episode, which is the AI version of me and of this podcast and my YouTube videos and all these things. It all lives within this AI platform. I used Delphi.ai to create it, and I want you to use mine. It's totally free. Go to hustleandflowchart.com/AI Joe. That's hustleandflowchart.com/AI Joe. Test this thing out. It's crazy. You could type with it, talk with it. You can even use video and you can look up anything from this podcast. You can ask a question about your business, life, any scenario. It kind of learns about you with the information you give it. It's rad. You will love it. And also, there's a lot of people who are asking, how do I get one of these? How do I build it out? The cool thing is my team and I have been building a ton of these every single day. I've used the platform Delphi.ai for 2 years. I'm actually one of their advisors because I was one of their first users and just gave them a ton of feedback. I love it. But we build these things. So if you want to use it for lead generation, for, you have all this content as an expert, author, coach type person, we can put that into this digital brain and make it interactive. You could use it for customer service, internal training for your team, for your organization, lots of uses. If you would like one of these, I can pass over an exclusive deal. There's no one else that's offering this out there. I work closely with Delphi as one of their partners, agency partners, to build this out. So hit me up, type hustleandflowchart.com/interest into whatever browser. Again, that's hustleandflowchart.com/interest and hit me up. Let's build this thing together. All right, back to the episode. That leads to a question. Like, so you mentioned obviously there's a gap for any kind of industry. Like anyone can use email to connect with folks, but like what are some of the best ways you've seen daily used? And, because I'm just thinking of like there's individual, there's newsletter companies now that are like just around that kind of model. And then there's obviously a
Yeah.
company that might be listening here that needs to really ramp up email. So what do you see in there?
Yeah, if first of all, if you want your newsletter to be the product, not a promotional channel for your business, then hands down, without any debate, you should go make a newsletter on Beehive.
Mm,
Like
okay. Interesting.
they don't have any of the like machine learning intelligence to tell you what to create with more of what people want. They have some AI GPT wrapper stuff. But as far as like the newsletter is the product, like they're very good at that.
Sure.
We very intentionally didn't build for that market because that's more of the creator economy. price
Mhm.
expectations are a bit like quite low. We said we want to work with real business owners that want to win now with AI and nurture their audience in less than 5 minutes of effort a week. So
Mm.
literally, like we make the newsletter for you, and when I say we, like we have an AI automated workflow that does it for you. Um, we do all the back end stuff to clean your list and prep it and make sure that it's warmed up, and then we can personalize every email after 6 sends. I can personalize an email that's like Joe's picks. It'll be just for Joe, and it'll be a little section that's just for you, stuff that you would open.
Yeah.
Um, the other big
Awesome.
use case that we just launched is like that's worth pausing on. So like, why is that important? Because all of AI and plus marketing is going from one to many. I send one email to lots of people to one to one.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, it's going to be one to one messaging across all platforms. It'll be weird for you to get a bulk message that's for everybody, but
Yeah.
almost no ESPs that I know have built their platform. It's all built on one to many. Ours was built from day one to send to individuals because we saw this vision that it was going to be personalized.
You're absolutely right. And that's the game changer right there. Like, I don't think I'm on any email list that it's a personalized, like, hey, picked for you. And it's not just some under disguise thing that's getting sent to everybody. It's actually legitimately dynamically picked based on my actions from before.
100%. Even like when you open it and like when it's sent. The other
Ah,
use case, like, and we're just rolling this out right now, but it's so exciting. I was talking about speed to lead.
yeah.
So, and then our newsletters are basically it's like a Instagram in the inbox. It's 3 or 4 thumb scrolls of content. Well, you can put advertisements, we call them conversion cards, inside of your newsletter for your products and services, right?
Mm.
Well, every time someone clicks on one of those ads, it's automatically going to fire off an email to them that says, hey, Joe, did you want to buy the widget? If so, here's how you take the next step. If not, thanks for being a subscriber. We saw that you clicked on the link. Something like that in your brand voice with copy that you would approve, right? But
Yeah.
immediate speed to lead, right? And then in June we're rolling out SMS. So if you have their phone number and you've gone through the pain of authenticating for SMS
Yeah.
marketing, then you can also send them a text message that's like, hey, I saw that you might have been interested in the widget. Do you want to jump on a call, or do you want to do this thing to get immediate support to finish your purchase? And that way you're just like getting back to them super
Mm.
fast and having a conversation that's designed to drive them forward instead of praying that your landing page is going to do all of the heavy lifting. Because in most cases it's not, especially as people start to get used to interacting with chatbots. Everything's going to need to feel like a chatbot, and the landing page is going to feel old and boring and slow. So if you just get them in chat mode over email or text, we skip the landing page, we get them right into the buying mode, and we make sure they have the support that they need so that you can actually maximize
Yeah.
conversions.
I mean, that's why I think you're familiar with Delphi.ai. I'm
Yeah.
one of the advisors there. I was their first user, and like I live and breathe kind of what you're saying there, but now from the chatbot side, because everything's a conversation, and that's what people want. They want to be talked and actually have a unique conversation that they can take an action, take them on a journey. Which like now I'm like, man, I really want Delphi to play with daily.ai, like because I could see that perfect match being made. Maybe that's a separate conversation, but I
Yeah,
mean,
we love those guys. Love their team.
good,
Huge fans of what they've built. It's just freaking, it's really
yeah,
good, man. I like to, like when I give keynotes, I'll have a
yeah,
slide that says the future of marketing, and it's a picture of C-3PO and Han Solo. You
uh-huh.
know that scene in Star Wars, like never
Right,
tell me the odds, because
yeah,
today it's going to be non-portable intelligence. It's like it's in your computer, it's in your phone, and it'll get to personalization where why would I need to see a software screen? Software is dead, has stage 2
yeah,
cancer. Like it's all going to
yeah.
be talking to an LLM that gets the result for you. And so,
I've never heard of
and
any software stage to cancer. It's
well,
so true
it's not gone yet, but it's
dying.
it's
Yeah,
and I don't want to make light of cancer. My father passed away from cancer, so I don't want anybody to take offense to that.
absolutely.
It's just an analogy. Like it's not gone, but it's in trouble. It needs to be
Yeah,
helped. And the way that it's going to be helped is things are going to start to look more like an LLM chat type personalized experience where it's automatically updating and having almost like a C-3PO conversation with you in the computer or the phone.
mm,
Then if you've been paying any attention to robotics, it's very quickly going to become portable intelligence. It'll be that, but in a robot, helping you doing physical things in the real world and
there you go.
talking to you and being connected to the internet. So if your products and services aren't moving in that direction, and the AI vendors that you're working with don't seem to be trending in that direction, there's a fairly good chance they're not going to survive.
Yep, I agree. It's almost like the way I see it because and I want to talk about this version in not Delphi, but in daily AI, is essentially having these triggers and actions built into a system. Like Delphi has that. It's almost like Zapier or Make to an extent built in within there before it can go out to another layer. And I think, yeah, what you're saying is, you have like the smart intelligence of whatever software platform that makes it unique to you, but also it can take actions on your behalf. So,
Yeah, and that's why having companies that are building with real machine learning, like where they take your corpus of data, like your customer interactions and your individual things, and
yeah.
then they remember them and build on top of them, because that's going to be the critical input. Because it eventually, and not probably not that far from now, it's going to be AIs talking to AIs.
Hmm.
Marketing will become, it's already here. I've been saying this for about a year and a half, but like marketing is going to become a member matching algorithm. And it's really going to come down to how good is your offer, where you take your offer and you go to the marketing AI and you say, I want the ideal buyer for this. And it will make the creative, it will write the copy. And when I say creative, I don't just mean imagery, I mean the videos too. TikTok's doing it, all the platforms are about to start doing it. It'll make a fake influencer video, it'll publish it, and it'll find who resonates the most. It'll test where the drop off points are, and it'll optimize for it. Now, if your offer is extraordinary, then what's going to happen is you will end up getting customers back for cheaper than it costs for what they paid you. You have a positive customer acquisition cost. And that's where marketing's going. So it's already halfway there with the new, like you look at Facebook, like they're absolutely getting away from interest targeting if you understand paid
Oh
ads.
yeah.
It's just give me your people, who do you want, and give me your offer. You give me like 10 versions of your creative and I will go find the 1,000 weirdos that are weird like you and love your weird stuff, and hopefully it's acquire them cheaper than what they pay you. That's
Yeah.
We're already there. So like that's where it's going, man. It's like AI is talking to AIs and doing all these workflows for you and getting you customers and leads while you just work on having great offers and products. So like that's
Yeah.
where all of these things are going. And so if your products and services that you're buying from people aren't moving in that direction, then they're probably not going to survive. Like, and that's a real thing. And that may be okay, but that's just
Yeah.
the way it is.
And I welcome this future because it sounds more fun. It's like we get to, as entrepreneurs, as problem solvers, literally create these problem solvers for people, these products and services, and then have AI do the marketing. It's like, yeah, we might be great at marketing and love doing it, but it's like, let's be honest, let's solve the problems and actually match to the right people to actually help people faster and scale. And
Yeah.
now we have the tech here; it's almost here. I mean, shoot, even like that process you talked about, dead leads. I mean, that finding the people who you can rank, you can kind of do this a little bit yourself by, now going to ChatGPT or all these other places, like, hey, write me a script based off the information or the people you have in this list. And, you can do all sorts of things. Take that over to InVideo, make a video, or HeyGen or Delphi or whatever it is, yeah, it's just like when you start to see how the pieces connect and then get your hands dirty and start practicing. Exactly
Yeah.
what you said becomes almost like second nature. I get
100%. And just to put it in practical, like ground it, because we're kind of in big
yeah.
future possibilities. Like it's simple, man. Like use an LLM every day. Like I highly recommend use ChatGPT for most things. Use
Yeah.
Claude for writing copy and creating marketing content. Just use those things every day. If you want to do a video clone, definitely go get on Delphi. I mean, they're best in the world, hands down. Like
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah.
Um, and then if you want to work on your marketing, like we've made daily AI so that you don't even need to know how to spell AI. You fill
Yeah.
out like 10 or 12 questions on a survey and our AI agent will make your newsletter, ship it. I mean, it's really, really easy.
Yeah.
But get in the game, like find tools that have practical applications that are focused on outcomes, not just outputs. They're cool, but in our kinds of businesses, we want to make money and serve people and, like we want to
Mhm.
move the needle in the business. So I think that's the big opportunity is just start with daily usage and graduate to tools that will get you the outcome. I think if you use that lens when you're making your purchase decisions and you act on speed of implementation, you're going to be a lot farther ahead than your competitors and that you otherwise would have been. And your
Oh
future self definitely thank you.
yeah. Yeah, that's for sure, man. And yeah, I actually have a Delphi made for my future self to tell me all the stuff that I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't
Uh,
have thought of that. Like, there you go. One use case there. Well, on daily AI, so I mean, I think it's gotten better. Well, it has gotten better. Obviously, releasing these features, I feel like it's now, it's framed in a way that a lot more business owners can actually jump on it, and I think see it as like a no brainer. Like, hey, you obviously need email in your business. It's still a form of communication that it's not going away. It's just changing. It's modulating in a way that probably most of us don't understand until right now. So thanks to you,
Yeah.
Joe. Uh, what's I guess, what's the next best step to maybe describe daily AI, or at least like say, okay, so here are some of the, I don't know, any kind of roadblocks that people might have at this phase where it's like, okay, I see what I need to do. Obviously, daily AI just kind of solves a lot of it for you.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know what the perfect question here is, but I just want to kind of just dispel, like eliminate any blockage of even having email consistently used in a business. Now knowing that you have this really cool tech that's like available.
Well, first of all, let me just talk about email as a category, and then we'll talk about daily, right? To land the
There you go.
plane on this. Um, Email has more daily active users than any single social media platform on the planet, and you own the data. So I can take those emails anywhere I want. So your email list is an arguably more valuable intangible asset on your balance sheet than your social media followers.
True.
Because I don't know about you, but I don't know how many of our friends have like built social media followings and then gotten banned or blocked because they said the wrong thing, and then the number one lead source in their business just totally took a nosedive.
Right.
That doesn't happen with email, right? It's there's different rules and it's morphing, but it is massive. I do these talks all over the country and I say, hey, raise your hand if you use email in your business. And every hand goes up. I say, keep your hand in the air if you use TikTok. And most hands go down. I'm picking on TikTok, but it's true. Email is the first killer app that's ever been created on the internet,
Hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
so it's going to be very difficult to degrade that in human psychology. I'm sure it'll happen one day, but that one day is not today. And everybody has emails and everybody has an email list. And so my big thing is, man, like we've made it so easy. Like if you just like we have a promo that we put together just for your audience. Go to dailyaI/Joe, which I thought would be funny because we're both
Oh,
named
wow.
Joe.
Yeah.
dailyaI/Joe, dude, just sign up.
Yeah.
We'll make and ship your newsletter in 7 days, and if it doesn't have a 40% open rate, then you can tell us to kick rocks, right? Like, and by the way, like for people that don't have a 40% open rate, we put like a human tiger team on to help you develop all this. But we also have all these bonuses for your people. It's like we have a whole course on how to grow an email list. We've done this like hundreds of times.
Exactly.
We've built 3 different email newsletters that have over 100,000 subscribers on them ourselves, right? Just because so we know what works. If you're interested in learning AI, we have a whole course called Master Game AI. It's all the basics. How do you prompt? How do you make images? How do you do voice cloning, video cloning, all the top tools? That's also given as a bonus. And then we also have like just a growth course, like how do you grow? How do you grow? How do you use this stuff to grow your business? So
Yeah.
we've tried to make it as easy as possible, right? Like our big objections are like, well, you know, like number one, I don't know how to grow an email list. Great. We just documented all the best practices and gave it to you. There you go. Number two, does email still work? Yeah, it works. And if you don't believe me, just try it. Right. And then number three, like, I don't know AI. I'm not familiar with it. Great. We'll literally do everything for you. Our product and team will do all the heavy lifting. You don't have to do anything. And then if you want to learn AI, we have a whole library, like a year's worth. I went and taught something every week for a year, and
Mm.
it's just like almost everything you would ever possibly want to know for you or your team to get gamed up on the most common tools. So we've tried to make this as easy as possible, whether you're like totally into AI and you're like a maker, or you have like you literally can't spell AI for people
Yeah.
to get started and get them some exposure to something that will actually move the needle in their business.
No, it's a hell of an offer. So yeah, definitely daily.ai/Joe. Pretty easy to get to. And yeah, it's a no-brainer, especially with, I mean, even if you're great at email, I'm like, I don't see, free yourself from some of the manual labor. I mean, because that's what I feel like it is nowadays. I mean, back in the day, it was really manual labor. Even if you're using ChatGPT or anything to kind of craft your own stuff, you're obviously not getting the full dynamic play of like what you described earlier. These
Yeah,
emails.
100%. Um, in fact, if anybody has questions on AI, they can go to DM Joe, as in direct message, dmjoe.com. That'll
Nice.
take you to the DMs of my Instagram. I have a whole team that just helps people with AI stuff. You have questions, you need help, just say, hey, I heard about you on this podcast, and we'd love to help you. So just to be a
Sweet.
resource.
Nice. Well, dude, I hope everyone takes action on that. And also, just to finalize or finish this all off, like what's another thing? Are there any interesting like workflows or things that how you use AI in other parts of your life? Like, let's say like just your personal life. Like, is there anything that comes to mind? I'm always fascinated with how people are taking it outside too.
I think one of the biggest things we as entrepreneurs that we do and why we do this is like we really want freedom. right? We want freedom of location, freedom of time, freedom of having to work all the time,
Mhm.
snow white, clear calendars. And I want time with my family. You know, I've been with my wife 20 years. We have two kids, another one on the way. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty, thank you, man. I try to get a little bit better with how I invest my time. And I
Yep.
just recommend that you think about your time as investing it because it's more precious than your money. Money is ubiquitous. You can get it anywhere. The time thing's a little trickier. So I'm thinking all the time, like an investor, how can I reinvest my time? How can I reinvest my time? And so I have a prompt that I run every single week that's around how I can optimize my time. And I feed it the prompt and it asks me questions back. I track my time each week and I answer the questions. But even if you don't track your time, you can just answer the questions and it will give you ideas for how to get the most out of your time, how to save up to 5 hours a week to remove stuff,
Mm.
eliminate things, help you mostly say no to things that you should be saying yes to, and just clean up your calendar 5 hours a week at a time. I think if you go to dmjoe.com and send me the word time, I have an automation that will send you that prompt. And that's just like, that's one way. And I do that every week, man. Every Sunday I do it. I have my
Really?
EA send me a report and then I just try to get better with how I invest my time and get a little bit more focused on family and impact and creating and a little bit less on, pretty much everything else that isn't helping grow daily AI and serving our customers.
Yeah.
And it seems like the older we get, man, the more things there are, the more opportunities there are for you to invest your time. But I
Always.
think the first paradigm shift is, you're not spending your time, you're investing it. And the second one is just get a little bit better each week. And this prompt can help seriously. It's helped me. I've been using it for a long time, like
Oh man, I
months and
love
months
it.
and months. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said dmjoe.com and then what? Just put time right there in the
Yeah,
details.
dmjoe.com. That'll open up if you're on Instagram, be logged in, and then that'll take you right to my IG DM inbox. Just send me the word time, and then there'll be like a mini chat automation that will just follow up and take care of you.
Sick. All right, I'm gonna do it right now. Yeah, I see it exactly the same. Two kids of my own, they're young, and at the same time, you're right. Like the more successful, or at least the more you're in the game, the more conversations and things happen and show up. And if you don't have that no muscle built in, or like blockers on your calendar, whatever it is to create that snow white calendar,
That's right.
yeah, it's gonna be tough. So appreciate you, brother. This has been fun. Thank you so much for sharing, being open with it all, and hope everybody jumps on daily too. So thanks for making the platform, bro.
Dude, my pleasure. I'm here to help. Thanks for having me.